Welcome everybody to the Culture Shock Podcast. It's your boy Pat Bayless, and I'm back in the building with my guy Zach. What's going on, Zach? How are you?
How you doing, brother?
Zach decided to come here with a Boston hat on. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he's here. Anyways,
I mean, I would definitely root for the Red Sox over the Yankees.
that's crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, man.
I'm a Mets fan, but
Lucky I love him because that's
bro, I got bullied when I was a kid being the only Mets fan. And all these kids were Yankee fans because their dad, and they never saw one World Series in their life, and they would always throw it in my face. So then I was just always like, you don't even like the Yankees like that. You don't even get it. You know what I'm saying? You missed 26 World Series. You saw one in '09, and you were 12.
that sucks. When were you? Wait, when were you? When were you?
97.
Oh man, yeah, they seen none.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
seen absolutely.
So that's
none.
where I was at the point where I was just like, you know what? Fuck the Yankees. Because all those kids are pieces of shit, too.
Three? What? Three in that time?
All those
period?
kids are pieces of shit, bro. Every Yankee fan I know. Outside you guys. A few other people.
But welcome back, everybody. I'm happy to be here again and continuing this relationship goals series. My guy Zach and me always have great conversations, so it's just so easy doing this. Today the episode is called "The Struggle Is Real," and joy is coming. So I just wanted to get deep dive into it. One of the biggest things that I feel like we deal with every single day is our ego and our pride. Whether it just be people we see in stores that may get a little snappy with us, or looking at people in the podcast industry and saying, how the hell they getting 2 million likes, 2 million views? Like the product I'm putting out is better. Do you feel, in general, maybe today or as a child, that you struggled or struggle with the ego situation?
No, I don't. I think I always struggle with confidence. I never really had an ego. I've always been selfless. I've always been reserved. I never wanted to like flaunt what I had. And if I did, it was in a sense of seeking validation that wasn't needed. You know, I was trying to prove to people because I didn't receive it. You know what I'm saying? So I always was just like, yo, like, look what I'm doing. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, I have this. I'm accomplishing this. I do this in basketball. My podcast does this. But that was me feeding an insecurity that I've always had since I was a kid. I always struggle with like confidence. Always struggle with confidence, whether it came from the way I looked, the way I dressed, the way that I got girls, even with girls, insecurities, right? So like there were so many things that I struggled with. I was like, I mean, I never even had the thought of having an ego. If you ask anyone that I know growing up, does Zach have an ego? Was he cocky? Was he an asshole? No. Like most people, I'd say 99% of people would be like, yo, Zach was one of like the nicest guys I know. Zach was always like a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I was. So I don't think I ever struggled with having the ego. I think confidence was something that I was always battling with. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I knew in public how to show it and not show weakness, right? Not show that I lacked confidence. But if you really knew, like if you really knew me, you could see it, right? You could see through it. I think now I'm finally coming to a place of confidence. I would say this is probably the most confident I've ever been in all aspects of my life, with what I'm doing, with women, with actually being proud of the person I am. And I still struggle with that. There's still parts of me that I fucking hate. But on the outside perspective, I could say like I'm confident, but ego, nah, I don't think I've ever struggled with that. And I think that's why Jake and I always worked, because he's someone that struggled with that.
Right.
And I think I always brought him back down to earth.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great point, because like we had Jake on the pod, and he did say that he made that very like he was that football person that's what drove him, right? But my question to you is, because for me, I kind of dealt with that as well. But as a child, was there anything like your parents did or your father did or anything like that? Was there anything maybe like family members did? So like for me as a child, right, my insecurity was height. I was short. I was a small guy. When we played football, I was a skinny guy that was picked last because yeah, he's small. Like I don't want to pick him.
Right.
He's small. And then when I had that growth spurt, I was like, my ego like really came out. It didn't even matter. Like I could be the ugliest person ever, but my ego came out because I was finally tall. I was the same size as people.
Yeah.
Was there anything like as a child that you remember that maybe could have been the root of it? Like what was the root of you feeling that insecurity of or being like, you know what I'm saying? Like what was it? Was it just inside of you or was it actual like people around you?
I think as a kid, like no ego in it. I was always the cool kid. I was always in the popular groups. I was always like part of the who's who in elementary school, in middle school, in high school. I was always like the cool kid, right? I was friends with everyone. And but I do have that like a little bit of like OCD in a sense of like where I'm in my own head, where I'm compulsive, where I had like little tics, or I'm just so in my own mind where I knew what actually went on in my mind when no one was around, but I was just so good at masking it when I was around everyone. So when I'm around everyone, it's this weird paradox of like everyone thinks I'm super cool and I'm super good, but when I get alone, I really don't even like myself that much. So it was something that I always struggled with. And of course, bro, there was little insecurities, bro. Like I would always get made fun of, like you have a big nose, right? Or my last name, call it what it is. Like I had a funny last name. I would always get made fun of that.
Your last name now, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like like I always got made fun of that. So there was like little things, right? Like, but I was cool. So it was just like people who would say that, I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
But it hurt, like, of course it bothered me inside, but I wouldn't show it. So that was one thing. And yeah, I've always downplayed myself, bro. You don't know how many people have told me like, bro, why do you downplay yourself? Why do you why don't you really give yourself your own flowers? You don't do that at all. My dad had to do that to me all the time. I would say things with sports and with basketball and baseball and football and I'm okay. I'm not that good, or like I'm doing this, but it's okay, because I've always had this like crazy fucking thing in my mind of just like you're not good enough. You're not worthy, right? You're not where other people are, because I always lived in this realm of comparison. So even though I was doing good to the majority, I wouldn't accept that. I would look to someone who's doing better than me and then compare myself and say, yo, I'm not as good as them, so I'm not good. So I think that's where I struggled the most with that, where it was just like I've always compared myself to everyone else, and I never looked at what I'm actually doing and appreciated the things that I've brought to the world, the way I treat people, the way I do things, the way I make people feel, which is important. But I looked at, that guy's better than me, he makes more money than me, he's better looking than me, he dresses better than me, he's taller than me, he gets better girls than me. I can't fuck with him. That's where my mind goes. And I struggled with that for so long, but I never showed it. So now I'm finally getting into this place of like accepting me for me and being proud of who I am, and then building confidence. And I think it also stems from me being single right now for the first time in 7 years. Because this is the first time I actually had to be by myself with no one else around and no one to give me confidence. When you're with a girl, they give you the utmost confidence all the time if she loves you. So now I have to be by myself. So if I don't like myself, I need to make changes to understand why I should love myself and be confident in who I am, because I am doing cool shit. So it took me so long. I'm 27 now, but I've struggled with this since I was a fucking little kid.
Yeah. I what's funny is like the journey is a little different for me and you in that aspect. So I grew up just thinking of like my childhood. Like, yes, I went through the whole being short, being small. But my favorite player, like I said on other pods, is Kobe Bryant. So like I looked at Kobe Bryant and being like against all odds. That's always had in my head.
Yeah.
Like it's you against the world. Like, now you can do this. Like, everything was, you can do this, even if I couldn't. I've been cut from the baseball team before. Stuff like that. Like, I've been on basketball trials, been cut. You know what I'm saying? I've seen and had best friends that were more successful, but I never let that eat me up too much.
Yeah.
But I grew this ego, especially out of high school. I grew this ego that it was, I don't care if they better looking at me. I don't care. Like, I'm that guy. The problem with that is you're just another person. Like, it's not to say that we aren't important, we aren't special.
Right, but
We
you're
don't have
not
a
that
certain-
guy.
But you're not that guy, right? You're not that guy. And that's the thing is, as you get older, some people learn it young, but for me, I learned it when I got older. And you think you're untouchable until you're not. And the moment that you realize that you're touchable, sometimes it could be too late. And for me, in my opinion, it was too late. So I had to backtrack and humble myself so much, man. Like, it became one of those things where in a relationship, I'm possessive to a point of, yeah, I know this relationship isn't good for me. For me, not even for her. I know this relationship isn't good for me, but I'm just going to be in it because I don't want to let her go. Like, like, that's sly, that's ego-driven. Like, when you break up with somebody, you're not going to get better than me. Yeah, just being overly possessive and thinking that I'm him. And the point is at the end of the day, you're not. There's so much learning you have to do as a man. And these women, as you get older, I'm sure you see it now. Like, when we're 20s, women are cool with you work at a fucking supermarket. It doesn't matter. You do that when you in your late 20s or you're not making a certain amount of money, they're not sticking around. Let's just be honest. So yeah, for me, the ego, it really ran my life. If I'm being honest, the ego ran my life. The pride ran my life, and like, just starting drama with people that I'm not even. First of all, I don't like drama. I'm very chill. My demeanor is very chill. But when it came to especially like women that I was dating, it was like all hands on deck. Like, it doesn't matter. You about it, I'm about it. Meanwhile, I'm not even about it. Like, I'm just very cool. I don't like to fight. I'm a lover. Lover boy, if that's what you want to call it. So, I don't know. For me, killing that ego was like the biggest thing I had to learn in therapy, and that shit started I started therapy when I was 29. So think about all of that time. It just was a lot of shit that bit me in the ass. Because they call karma. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you believe in karma, but karma, it bit me in the ass. So I think your approach, if I'm thinking to myself, is something I wish I would have took, and being more careful, more kind. Like, don't get me wrong, I still was a nice hearted person, but when it came to relationships, it was like, yeah, I want to be with her, but I also want to have fun.
Yeah, but when you're that guy, you're the fucking nice guy, bro. And I truly believe that the nice guy does finish last, especially with women. I've been on the fucking butt end of that too many times, and it's like, you have to understand your value as a man, and if you aren't confident in yourself, you'll never be able to show that side to a woman where she actually believes in you, where she actually trusts you, where she actually wants to be with you over the next guy. Because if you are the nice guy and you're just so passive and you're just so, whatever you need, I'll do it for you, women have this fucking sick behavior that they will take advantage of that guy. And they'll get what they need out of him until the next guy comes in who's a bad boy, who makes them feel something that they haven't felt before, and they feel like they have to work for it. And then the nice guy that they said they wanted, they don't give a fuck.
Right.
And they leave him for the bad boy, right? Then they realize the bad boy isn't who they actually wanted, so now they got to go back to a nice guy, and it's this sick cycle that just repeats for women and men. But guess what? You fucked over the nice guy. Now you turned him into a bad guy. So now he's going to be that bad guy that the girl thinks she wants, and now he's going to hurt her. And this cycle just repeats.
Yeah, it's vice versa. Even with men doing it to females, it's like, I know you probably went to school with somebody and you were like, she was such a nice girl, and then you see her out of high school and you like, what the hell happened? And
yeah,
it
bro.
could have been part of a trigger.
Bro, That's kind of like what's been on my mind lately is like, bro, the worst thing you can do is hurt someone that's already broken. And you know they're broken. And you selfishly stay with them or continue to speak to them or continue to give them love when you know you probably don't want to be in it. And now what you're going to do is break them completely. You know how much they've been through, but you're taking your selfish desires and you're not thinking about them at all. Mm-hmm. And you just think, me, 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 until it gets to a point, I can't do this anymore. And now you got to fucking crush that person. That's so fucked up, man. Yeah. And we all do it. Everyone's fucking done it. And I get it. The other person on the other end, maybe they have to go through that to grow, to not be that person. But when you do that to someone who's already broken and you know they're broken and you've been that broken person before, but you're in a good position and you still do that thing, you have to look in the mirror and like really understand what the fuck you're actually doing. Because for me, doing that hurts more than being the person that gets hurt when you're already broken. Right. You know what I'm saying? I hate hurting people. I would always like to be hurt more than hurting someone else because I've always gotten through. So I know how to get through. I don't know if you're going to be able to get through. So I don't want to be that person that is the villain in your life. And I hate being that person. I've only done it once, and it was so fucking hard. I remember I called when I broke up with a girl. I've never told this story before. I was with a girl for about 2 years. I was going to school in Texas, and we drove from New York to Texas. And she got in my car. We packed up everything. And 5 minutes into the drive, she starts hysterically crying. And I was like, why are you crying? And she was like, because I know this is the last time I'm ever going to be with you. I got 35 more hours to drive. I got that 5 minutes into the drive. And I was like, fuck, because I know she's right. I got to Texas. We had our last night together. And the second day I was in Texas, the girl I really wanted for the last 4 years, like kind of opened up to me and said she wants to talk to me. And once I saw that text message, the girl I was with, the girl I told, I love you every single day, I couldn't even speak to her anymore. She would call me and I'd be on FaceTime with the other girl and I'd be like, sorry, I'm in a meeting with my coach right now. And then it got to the point where I called my dad and I said, there's a girl that I've always wanted and she's showing interest. I don't want to be with this girl anymore. And he was like, you got to do what makes you happy. Sometimes you got to hurt people. But life is too short to not be happy. So I ended it. And the night I ended it, I sat in the car and called my ex-girlfriend from high school who broke my heart. And I asked her, how did you get through this? Because I know you saw what you did to me. And this is the first time I ever broke anyone else's heart. How'd you get through this? And I fucking cried by myself at 2 a.m. after I broke up with someone because I knew how much she loved me.
I'm not gonna lie, that's something that is honestly something that I struggle with now. As we sit here today, I struggle with that now. I can't get in a relationship right now. Like I can't literally get in a relationship. I don't know if it's because I've been so used to the whatever you want to call it, the sunken place or the toxic area. I'm so happy that I took time in therapy, grown. And obviously, I've been around other women. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that no more. I don't like that. But it's still hard for me to get in a relationship. You know why? Because a lot of my wounds are still not healed. You're talking about something where you took somebody to Texas. The girl that I loved dearly, and still to this day, dearly, she moved to North Carolina. Just moved. We wasn't together. We was ending, and she moved. And even after she moved, she said, you think we can still be friends? And I told her the truth. I said, no, because it's just distance and the fact that we love each other. And especially me, I love you deeply. I'm not going to be able to do it. But I tried my hardest. I don't know if you ever been in that spot where you have to try to take yourself out of love and be a friend. I tried my damn hardest. Bro, I went down there. I drove 10 hours. 10 hours. Seen her. Slept in the same bed as her. We didn't have sex. This is a girl I love. This is a girl I spent 4 or 5 years with, had sex with, was pregnant at one point. Thought about baby names, wanted to marry. Drove down there and tried to show her I could be your friend. And it took everything in me. But to then come back home and realize, shit, that was probably the last time I'm ever going to see her. And it's the same thing that probably that girl felt about you. Is just that feeling of, it's like it's a pit in your stomach and you're trying to fight that urge all the time. And that's part of what you think could be your joy, right? And when I put this title together, I'm saying the struggle is real, but joy is coming. You're thinking that's your joy. And I think that's the problem with ego and stuff like that, is you're trying to find this joy. And you're trying to find it in people when really it lives within you. You know what I'm saying? So is there ever like a comfort zone now for you? Or maybe, obviously you had basketball, right? We talked on prior, you had basketball that was like your go-to whenever you went through things and stuff like that. But what about now? What's like your comfort zone now when things get rough? Is it the pod? Is it talking about your feelings or talking about what's going on? Or is it like what holds you together when you're going through these rough times? Because we all go through that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously early on, basketball was my outlet. Like, I'll never forget every single Mother's Day, I used to set up the lights in my driveway at night when it was dark out in May and just shoot all night, every single Mother's Day. And I would be in my driveway with tears in my eyes, crying hysterically, just shooting the basketball because that was my escape. I wouldn't tell my dad. I wouldn't tell my friends. I wouldn't post it on fucking Instagram. I set up the lights so I could see the rim, and I just sat there. And I'll never forget, bro, my best friend that I don't speak to anymore, he rebounded for me one day. And we were both out there crying because that was like his second mom. And that was like a moment I'll never forget, bro, because that was just like, I might have been 14, and that shit was so tough because like it was 2 years removed from after she died, and I'll never forget that. Just that driveway and a basketball and just hearing it go through the net was all I needed. That was my therapy. And once basketball was like removed from my life, luckily the podcast came, and that was my new therapy. So I do think that this is my outlet to speak on how I feel. I don't know if I've told you before, but John probably knows. Like I said, like my dad said he learned more about me through my podcast than he ever did in my 26 years of living, because me and him never spoke like that. We have that like man-to-man relationship. We're good, mom's birthday. My mom's birthday was fucking 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? And me and him didn't say a word. We didn't say a word. Mom never came up in conversation once. That's just how we are. Because we know, and we're close, so we get it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just how it is. I've been thinking recently, bro, I was just like, not only on the outside, but where I am right now, I would personally say mentally, financially, physically, spiritually, I'm in the best position I've ever been in my life. I feel super confident. I have so much faith in what I'm doing. I actually believe it. And I actually really think, let me rephrase, not really think, I know this shit is going to happen now. There's no question in my mind. I have no doubt that this shit is going to work. But there's also a part of me where I'm just like, you need so much fucking help. Like, you need to go and talk to someone that you don't know. Like, I'm like struggling to type in therapist in my area because I want to go speak to someone and not tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, there's so much shit that's going on up here that nobody knows about. Because on the outside, I look okay, and I am okay. But I know deep down, like in the core of everything, I'm not okay. I'm not healed. There's so much shit that I need to figure out. And I can't talk to a friend, my father. I can't talk to a girl. I need to talk. I need to let it out.
Right.
And I haven't had that outlet yet. So I think that's where I'm at right now, where like I'm very close to potentially finding a therapist and seeing if it's beneficial for my life.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, obviously I'm pro therapy. I've been talking about that since
Yeah.
day one of my pod. My first ever episodes with my own therapist on my episode. Um, so I'm big pro therapy. I think that's something you should always look into. But what's not a running, I wouldn't say a running joke, but a running saying in my family is I've always been a person to be like, I'm good. I've always been a person to be able to put on that smile, to act like everything is good around me. It may look like there's a bunch of fire around me, but you see me smiling, I'm good. I still got that confidence. But I think what therapy has been able to do is show that I'm not good, and my family to be able to identify it better, because I'm not as ego driven. I'm not as chest out. I'm more. I'm not down, but I'm okay with what is really truly what it is. And even my therapist, man, even when you do therapy, right? You you can not. So therapy. I always say this: you could go into therapy and not get anything out of it because you're not truly telling your therapist what's going on.
Yeah.
Your therapist ain't a mind reader. At the end of the day, you can go to therapy and say, "Yeah, my girl's pissing me off, but I'm good everywhere else." But you know damn well you're not. And that's been me, especially in the beginning. I was good, and my therapist is like, "Patrick, you're not good." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. What you mean? Like, I got this, I got that." Yeah, but what's the root of why this is such a problem? Why do you keep going back, and why do you keep liking this toxic stuff? Why? Oh, I'm not good. And that's the thing is I'm not good. Say it. I'm not good and be okay with it. And when you could do that, when you could put it on a platform where people are gonna see it, whether it be one person, 1,000 people, whatever, but you're okay with it and you could walk in that I am who I am. This is my truth. Then you're okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, you're okay. It's all right to be broken. We're all broken. People that go to church are broken. The pastor has been broken at one point. He might even be going through a hard time now. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. Um, for me, I try to find my purpose. So right now, I feel like with this pod and with everything, I feel like I found my purpose. I feel like it's a part of who I am. It's something that I've embodied, and that's why I take it so serious. When a lot of people they'll just throw pods together, but I take this shit serious, as I know you do. Do you feel like this is your purpose? Because I remember we had that conversation about basketball being your purpose and you thinking it. Do you feel like this is your purpose? And do you ever, right now you say you're confident, but have you ever questioned it as like, is this really what I'm made to do?
I think God put me here, bro, to be a light in people's lives. I really do. And I never understood it, and I was always like, why am I this person for everyone else, but I don't have anyone that is that person for me? And I shamed it, and I complained about it, and I cried about it. And I think I'm finally getting to the point where it's like, you don't need anyone else. God would not give you anything that you couldn't handle. I have it tattooed on me. God gives his toughest battles to the strongest soldiers. Fab is my favorite artist ever. So I think that's where I'm at. I just think I'm put here to be a light in someone's life. Whether I meet them for 3 days, for one conversation, or I'm in their life for 5 to 10 years. I just want people to remember that Zach was a good person. Like, Zach helped me. Zach got me through a dark time. And I think that's my purpose. I think that is why I'm here. And I'm going to continue to do that because when you feel that intuitive feeling and you don't accept it, you're going to miss it. People's window of opportunity is so small, especially when you don't come from much, that if you miss it, that window closes and you never get to see it again. So I have the brain to realize that this is in my life for a reason. I have to run with it while it's here. Because if I think that I'm here to do anything else, nothing's going to come from it. And that's where I'm at now. Where it's just like, bro, you're here for a reason. Like, you've always been this person. You didn't understand it. I mean, bro, you probably don't even know this. John probably doesn't even know this. I mean, this isn't like some crazy philosophical shit, but when I was in college, I was trying so hard to get recruited. I created a recruiting page on Twitter, not in my name, called The Grind. THA Grind. Today's humble athletes grind. I would post my highlights, all of my boys' highlights that didn't have scholarships. I built a Twitter page of over 4,000 college coaches following. I got 11 kids scholarships for free. I didn't charge. All these fucking recruiting services, NCSA, collegerecruiting.com, all these bullshit motherfuckers, because I paid for it, that did $400, $500, $600. I'll get you a scholarship, guaranteed. You got no fucking connects. You don't know anyone. Yep. I knew how to get a scholarship because I got a scholarship on my own. I emailed every single coach in America at 3 a.m. because I set my alarm the night before to wake up at 3 a.m. because I know if I sent an email at 3 a.m., my email would be first at 7, 8 a.m. when that college coach woke up. That's where I was at. So I understood how to build this fucking game of getting a college scholarship. So I did that for 11 individuals that I did not even fucking know. And I got them free scholarships, free tuition, and they got to play college basketball for free. I did that on Twitter, sending highlights. I made a WhatsApp number to call the coach and my partner, Evan Barnes. You know Ev, right? You know Ev. I used his name. I told him, because I didn't trust what the fuck he said, and I said, don't ever talk to a college coach. Anything you get, send it by me, because he had the login. And anything he got that I had to call a coach, I made a WhatsApp number and a fake number. I said, what's up, coach? I'm Coach Barnes. It got to the point I needed to get recruited. I did that shit for myself. I've sent a DM on Twitter from The Grind Twitter account. I sent my own highlights. I boosted myself up. And I said, what's going on, coach? You need to check out this kid, Zach Cummings. He's a tough point guard from New York. Just needs an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like his highlights. Send me his number. I get a call to my WhatsApp number. I answer it. I change my voice a little bit. What's up, coach? I'm Coach Barnes. Yeah, bro, you gotta call Zach. Here's his number. 5 minutes later, I get a call. Hey, what's going on, coach? Yeah, no, I love the opportunity. That's what I did. That's crazy. That's the shit I did to get a fucking scholarship, bro. And I did that for 11 other people. So that's what I'm saying. My purpose has always been to help other people with asking for nothing in return because it made me feel good. I always said being selfless is being selfish because I know that doing shit for other people makes me feel good. So in hindsight, yeah, it was selfish selfish because I felt good, but I helped people that they could never even pay me back in return, and I would never even ask for it.
Right. First of all, the fact that you did that is dope. I ain't gonna lie.
No, not
They owe
not
you a
many
lot.
people know that.
Yeah.
Not many
Now
people
they
know that shit.
That in general is crazy. It's dope. It's crazy, but it's dope. The fact that you went that hard, you got 11 other people's scholarships. That brought you a sense of joy, I'm sure, seeing them succeed. But I think I've always known that about you is, like you said, sometimes it radiates off people, you know? And like, you know, when me and John were talking, it's like sometimes you feel that. Yeah. And like when I met you, when I've talked to you, I felt that like he's a genuine person. And some people that understand energy or good with energy, they'll see that. They'll be like, nah, Zach's cool or Pat's cool. You know, sometimes you just you can go anywhere. You go to Dykeman, you can go anywhere, and they feel that from you, and they don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's amazing. I think at the end of the day, I think God has blessed you. Maybe they didn't give you the 500, 600, 700, 800, whatever it was, but God has blessed you to be on the platform that you're at now. Yeah. And the confidence that you have now. Facts. You know what I'm saying? But in that same retrospect, the struggle that we still deal with, you at 27, right? 27, yeah. And me at 32. Shit sounds crazy. Me at 32 still deal with. Like, I struggle, as much as I'm a proud father, I struggle with being a dad. And the reason why I struggle with being a dad, it has nothing to do with financial. It has nothing to do with emotional. But, so I grew up in a 2-parent household, right? I don't know what it's like to not have, excuse me. I don't know what it's like to not have a second parent. Now, there's plenty of people all over America that don't have that. For my son, it's tough. Like, he's very good, very humble, very grown. But just for instance, the other day, I go to his school. It's me. It's his mom. It's him. He lives in, he comes to 2 different households.
Sorry, before you go. He lives in North Carolina?
No, not her. No, we didn't have a baby. Not me and her.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Nah, there's a girl prior to her.
Like, damn, you went down there? I was like, okay.
Nah, he lives like 10 minutes away.
Oh, okay. All right, continue. My bad.
It's not separation.
I'm locked in.
No,
I need this. Good. Yeah.
It's not separation to that far, but at the end of the day, it's 2 different households.
Yes.
So it bothers me because, like I said, I grew up in a 2-parent household, and I seen it firsthand recently. He's 6. He's old enough. He understands. And he sees me. He grabs my hand. He sees his mom, and he grabs her hand. And he's like, he feels together. And it's the toughest thing in the world because I would never, ever disrespect his mother, especially on a podcast. As far as talking about her, I never will do that. I'll never get into my situation. If you know me, you know my situation. You understand. Yeah. But I'll never be able to be back with her. Like, there's no shot. And it bothers me because I want to see my son happy. And my son is a happy person, a happy kid. But there is going to be a little seed in there that is going to bother him. And also me. I would love to be there for everything. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to be like, hey, I want to put my son in baseball. Can we work out a time? So I want to put him in baseball. You know, this kid asked for baseball equipment for Christmas. He's 6 years old. He's asking for toys. He's asking for baseball equipment for Christmas to go, play. He wants to play sports, and it's a negotiation. You know what I'm saying? And to that, it hurts. Like, I may not show it, and I'll definitely not show it to him. But for me, it hurts. Like being a dad, you just want to make your son or your daughter happy, and you're making them happy by the best of your ability. But like I said, there's still that little pit that I just don't want it to grow into nothing bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's a product of their own environment. And sometimes, whether you're young or whether you're older, it could be something that now sits in the back of your head. I can't be like my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? It could be my dad was dope or he's amazing and he's still in my life and we play baseball or we growing up and he's just been an amazing dad, but I can't be like them. Or is this normal? I could have a kid with somebody and not be together. And that's my biggest fear is I want my son to love, but love naturally. And regardless of the good or the bad, I want him to still be a high class man and eventually a high class father. You know what I'm saying? And that's the struggle that I get. Even to this day, I still have anxiety that I'll never show, but it's an anxious feeling that I just want him to have the ultimate life that he don't ever gotta feel like he's in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's funny. I mean, like, obviously I was telling you guys off camera, I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Yeah.
I yeah, I saw, I was with a girl that had a son, a 5-year-old son. And I was looking at the way that she spoke to him and the way that she was as just a mother. And I mean, I had tears in my eyes because I was like, that was me with my mom. And like, my mom's not here anymore. you know? I was like, yo, that's a 5-year-old me with my mom. Like, probably being annoying, wouldn't stop talking, crying, asking for things that I don't need. And like the mom, she reacted a certain way. I was like, my mom probably reacted the same exact way. And I got to watch it for the first time. I've never spoke to a woman with a kid before.
Zach, I don't even mean to cut you off. Just think about this, right? Think about the questions. So, like, obviously, you went through a traumatic thing with your mom. But think about the questions you might have as a kid and your parents aren't together. And I'm sure these kids have asked their mom, how do you answer those questions, but answer them in a way of non-disrespect? Because it may go, I'm not even talking about my situation. It may go male or female. It may have just not ended right. So how do you answer those questions in a diplomatic way where I'm giving you something as a kid, but I'm also being respectful? And that's that line and that bridge that for me, I will always keep. No matter what, I will always keep that. My son has asked me some questions. I'm not going to lie. He's asked me some real questions. And some of them, like, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's an adult talk. We can't discuss this right now. Like,
How old
that's
is
something
he?
I've said. 6. And he's asked me some real, bro, I can't even tell you the questions on camera, what he's asked me, but real questions about relationship, about me, about his mom, about us together.
Yeah.
Real stuff. And the fact that he's 6 still thinking about that is like you said, you see a little you, but the questions for me is the toughest part. And I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
But that's just something that's stuck in my head when I'm thinking like you've never interacted with that before. Is now you is just as a new male around them, there's more questions. And now for them as a kid, they're probably comparing if they've known their father.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's exactly. I mean, that's the situation I was just in. Because I mean, obviously, I speak to her, and she was just like, he'd be saying, I mean, the shit that she said, bro, it was crazy. Like the dad, like the dad says things to him of why you don't see him. And the kid believes it and then tells other people. And he's like, "Oh, my dad be working. He doesn't stop. He's so busy."
Sad.
And that's why the kid at 5 years old doesn't believe that he sees his father. When I know why he doesn't see his fucking father. The mother knows why he doesn't see his fucking father. And that was the saddest shit, bro. Like the way I met her, you wouldn't think was this like spiritual, emotional thing. I mean, at 3:40 in the morning in Atlantic City, I have tears in my eyes at the Hard Rock Casino listening to this shit. I
believe it.
I think, and that's why, I truly believe everything happens for a reason, bro, because I've never been exposed to this type of shit. Right? Like, I might have looked past that if I never experienced it. I'd be like, oh, bro, it's not a big deal. Like, you're good. It's whatever.
Your daddy's going to come around.
Yeah, or fuck it. But then when you hear it firsthand and then you see the pain in someone else's eyes, you get it. Like, bro, this shit is real. Like, this shit is no joke. Like, there's people that are really going through this shit every single day. Mm-hmm. And I think it humbled me. It bro, it gave me a different perspective on life. That like the shit that you went through even ain't that bad. There's people going through shit way worse than you. And even though that is my perspective all the time, my mom died when I was 12. There's motherfuckers that complain to me about shit that I wouldn't even fucking blink an eye twice at because my mom is fucking dead. But then there's other people that are still alive that are going through shit that I don't even fucking understand. And I could fucking cry about it, and I just met you. So I think that is one of the biggest things you can do in life is, bro, is have fucking compassion for people. Don't be so fucking judgmental. Stop thinking you know everything. When someone tells you something that's some real shit, just shut the fuck up and listen. Just be an ear for them. Just understand that they've been through something that you have never been through, and you don't know what the fuck they're feeling. So throw your ego, your pride, everything you know out the window and just fucking listen. That's all people need sometimes, is just someone that is genuinely understanding and listening to them. A lot of people just need someone to fucking talk to.
Yep. And listening, and then also the feedback of listening, because it's like I said multiple times, sometimes the way you get the feedback can determine how you're going to react to that person. So if you sit here and you tell me, or I tell you all these things that I'm going through, and you just like, Pat, like, man up. How am I going to react to that? I'm going to be like, I'm not telling Zach nothing.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Good talking to you, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, sometimes the way is given out, it could turn somebody off. And it's true. Like, you have to listen. And while you're listening, you know, our natural reaction is to think about what we're going to say after they're done talking as we're listening. But yeah, it's the way you go about that shit. Like, the fact that you were compassionate in that moment with somebody you ain't really know, and these kids that you ain't really know, that you give a damn about, and be like, listen, I'm just like your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you have compassion is shown and it is felt, because there's plenty of people that I'm sure have met this girl or been around them that haven't shown that compassion. I say, yes, sounds good, go play. You know what I'm saying? Or, it was, they're just listening to them, yeah. And it's, it's time to go. Like, it's an unfair world that we live in, because sometimes we have to really filter that out, and who really cares, who doesn't. And there is a lot of vulnerable people out there. There's a lot of people you'll meet right away that are vulnerable, open, because they've been hurt. They know only struggle. They don't know what a purpose is. They don't know what they're headed to. They just know that. And there's comfort zones of, he's an asshole to me, I just got to find the next asshole that doesn't have the same face. But that's what I'm good with.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And as you mentally grow and you mentally just see things differently, you see those people. And those faces become something that is a statement that you put up. Like you said, you've been through relationship problems, you've been through growth, you've been through maybe identity crises, right? But you've grown from that. You've taken it to the next level. You've taken it top notch, and you've also been able to put those to rest. And that for me has been a thing, is putting Pat in his 20s to rest, putting ego to rest, burying the complacency to rest, and like really going and getting it. And what I love about you and what I love about your podcast and the people that you have on your podcast is y'all hungry.
Yeah.
And I feel that same hunger. We sometimes come around people that just not hungry. Like, let's be honest. Even guests, right? We talk about guests, and you see that they're happy to be on the pod, but they're not hungry. You see, or you feel their lack of joy. You feel their lack of intense go get, and it's just something that you have to have. It's something that it's something that you can learn. I truly feel that. It's something that you truly can learn. But I do applaud you for being able to deal with that, especially at the time in the morning. I didn't mean to laugh, but when you said the time in the morning, I laughed, because 3:28 is crazy in the morning, or whatever you said.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. That's nuts to be doing that.
I mean, call it what it is.
It is,
That's the reality of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it real.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
it's true.
I was able
It's
to
true.
5 espresso martinis in at 3:28 in the morning in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Casino shed a tear in front of a girl that most men wouldn't cry in front of.
Is it an espresso martini? See, I've been hearing this a lot lately. I don't know. I don't know.
See, you even
That
said it
caught-
wrong. He said espresso martini.
Yeah, wrong, huh?
It's
Ah.
espresso.
Espresso,
E
my
S
fault.
P R E S S O.
Yo, listen. Is that the new drink or that's been around forever? Because
No,
I
it's
went
been
to a
around-
party recently and
Come on.
women were having that shit like it was the thing.
Yeah, technically it's like a woman's drink, bro. But
Yeah.
if you grow up like Italian, and that, bro, espresso martinis like
That should get you up though, right? Like isn't that coffee type shit? Oh
no. There's certainly coffee. There's some caffeine in it, but I don't know. That's my fucking go-to, bro.
Or
Either that or a glass of fucking whiskey,
yeah.
like some honey whiskey. I can't do the nasty whiskey, but like some
whiskey, yeah, I
some
can't do
Tennessee
that.
honey whiskey. I could drink that straight. But no, yeah, espresso martini is like my fucking. Come on. John knows we had one fucking last week, 2 weeks ago. Come on.
Yeah, right. So to you, when you think of the word, obviously we did a struggle, but when you think of the word joy, what do you think of? Like, what comes to your mind when you think of joy? Because with that word joy, people have different ideas of that. Like, people have different. Sometimes people see joy as seasonal. Sometimes people see ego as seasonal. But when you think of joy, what do you think of?
So it's crazy, bro. Like this past weekend, joy fucking changed for me, or happiness, right? I would put happiness and joy in the same fucking category. Same shit. So we interviewed a guy. YouTube is a Rhino. His name is Ryan Burton, and we asked him like, "Yo, what the fuck makes you happy?" Right? His answer, he was like, "I was so thrown off, because." John gets it. When we ask people, what makes you happy? We're like, money, cars, my wife, my family, getting to the heights that I want, right? Like happiness. And I asked him, we were like, well, I think Jake asked him.
Can I take a guess?
Yes.
They say peace.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And I think this could be eye-opening for both of you fucking guys because it blew my fucking mind and it's the simplest shit ever. We were like, yo, what makes you fucking happy? This guy has 10 million subscribers. He's done 51 million views on a YouTube video. He's done it all. He's been in the content game for 12, 13 years. He was the fucking president of his high school. He graduated from Drexel. Like, all the things that could make him happy on paper. We said, what makes you happy? He was like, yo, honestly, I really like playing Cards Against Humanity with my friends. He was like, just having a few drinks and just like chilling with my boys. He's like, bro, like nothing makes me more happy than that. He's like, I really like shooting content. Like that's like, I love shooting content. And he was like, chilling with a girl. He's like, there's nothing better than chilling with a girl. He's like, I'd rather do anything else in the world, but have a girl involved. And he talked about also like brownies. He was like, bro, I'll always love brownies. He was like, no matter what. Because I asked him, I was like, what do you do when you put your all into a video and it flops? But then you put a minimal effort into a video and it goes off. And he was like, bro, I love brownies. He was like, if I have a shitty brownie one time, do I stop loving brownies? No, I'm going to have another fucking brownie. So when I drop a piece of content that doesn't do well, I'm not going to stop making content. And bro, to me, it was so simple, but I was like, I don't even know what the fuck makes me happy. And then he asked us, he goes, what makes you guys fucking happy? And I was like, well, what makes me happy, what brings me joy is, bro, chilling with my boys, like watching football on Sundays, hanging out with a girl, going on a first date with a girl, really like chilling with my family. And I'm not the best at that. I like hide that I'm like cool, but like I do enjoy spending time with my family because I know the time is limited. Doing the podcast shit, like sitting here speaking makes me happy, right? There's simple things that make us happy, but our identity with happiness is like so driven by success and money and women and cars and clothes and houses and fucking moving across the country and interviewing this person, that's going to make me... That shit is fleeting. But you'll always remember a night out with your boys. You'll never forget that shit. You'll always remember like when you really hit it off with a girl for the first time. You'll always remember these intimate moments with your family that you'll take to the grave with you. Like, that is true joy, right? And then I get it. When you get, like, when you have a son, when you have children, when you get married, there's new forms of joy. Watching your wife, the love of your life, just smile in the morning, that's true joy. Watching your kid put his head on your head and say, I love you, Dad. That's true joy. But we have been so far removed from that because of the social media and the fast pace and the fucking more. And when someone told me what actually made them happy, and it was the simplest shit ever, I was like, holy shit, I don't know what the fuck actually makes me happy. I do, but I've been wrong.
Shit. I ain't got no goddamn rebuttal.
Is that not real though?
I got no.
Is that not real though, bro?
No,
It blew my fucking mind. He said cards of humanity.
I got no.
And he
rebuttal.
said chilling with a girl.
Not gonna lie.
And I was like, I've never said that once. I've been like, when I have 1 million subscribers, when I drive a fucking Porsche.
But it's not. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
Maybe. He got dropped off in a fucking Altima with a dent in the bumper. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
10 million.
The fact you put that together so perfect. That's why I said I had no rebuttal. It's not even what he said. What he said was true.
Right.
What he said was true. You have one shitty thing, you're gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? It's true. But the way you just put that was perfect. Like, I don't think I could bow that. It's Christmas time, but I don't think I could wrap that up any better than you did. For real, like that was put so perfect. Joy is those little things. Yeah. We all want the car. We all want the nice, girl to look at. We all want the lavish lifestyle, the Instagram lifestyle, hanging out with XYZ and seeing, celebrity being next to Beyonce or this or that. We all want that. It's nice. It's definitely something that'll make us feel good in the moment. Thousands of people will tell you you're dope. That's fly. That's fire. But you're right. We may remember, hey, I met Beyonce. But you're going to remember the times with your cousins that nobody knows about. Mm-hmm. You're going to remember the times with, like, the way you put that, I can't even rewrap that. Like I said, you put it perfect. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have a tattoo on my neck. It says, I am who I am. People sometimes look at it like, well, why'd you get that tattoo? But to me, I am who I am embodies really me because I've gone through trials and tribulations, ups and downs, struggles, joy, depression, happiness, feeling like on top of the world, invincible, losing my dad, losing a girl, having a hardship with my BM. Like, I've gone through all that, so I am who I am. This is who I am. When you see the pod, this is me. Like, you know me outside of this. Yeah. This is me. I'm this same person when the camera's cut off. Facts. And that's why I enjoy and that's why I love doing this pod because I know it's the genuine side of me that, like you said, even with your pops, they don't even know. There's some people in my family that watched it and be like, wow, I did not know that. There's some maybe people that have been my friends. I didn't know that. Yeah. And it's just, and even people that are randoms. But to me, that embodies me. That tattoo embodies me. When you think of yourself, do you feel like Zach, the guy that lives right now, do you feel like you're in your purest form, in your most genuine form, as you sit here right now?
I think I'm in my purest form to everyone else. That's who I actually am. I think when I'm by myself, I'm still trying to figure that out. I think there's things that nobody knows, nobody sees that I still try to understand and still try to combat. And I think that is, it's a weird thing because then when you go out in public and people treat you a certain way, deep down you know who you are when no one's around. So then it's like, am I a fraud? I got to stop. What are you doing? And now it's this overthinking anxiety process. So I think I'm just scratching the surface of being who I truly could be. And I think I will reach those heights when I actually am the same person when I'm by myself as when I'm with everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it is, right? Cuz like we all have shit when we're by ourselves, bro. Nobody's watching. But I think that's the scary part about doing that shit, is because if you do shit when everyone's watching, you know you're going to be judged. You know people are going to look at you a certain type of way. When you do shit when no one's watching, nobody knows but you. And you're the person that has to put the head on the pillow at night. You're the person that has to look in the mirror and be like, yo, you did that. And nobody fucking knows. So now that shit is in your fucking mind every single day. You did that. And no one knows. Now you have to put on a front and put a smile on because everyone thinks you're this, but you know you're really that. So I think that's something that I'm still trying to completely work on. But it's coming along, right? I think that's a process. I think everyone struggles when they're by themselves because it's so easy, right? It's so there's so much temptation. There's so much fucking sin. There's so much degenerate shit that we could do. I mean, like one of the last clips I had, bro, I was like, bro, like my mom watches me do this shit and I still do it. Like, how disrespectful is that? Like, I mean, of course that. I was about to say fuck that, but not fuck that, but it's just like, how disrespectful is it to myself?
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Like, outside of other people, at the end of the day, like, my mom is separate of me. I'm the only person that lives up here. How disrespectful is that to yourself? You know this shit isn't good for you. You consciously decide to still do that thing and then wake up with the repercussions of your decision.
So true.
And now you got to question yourself like, damn, I don't even know who I am. Yep. I'm a shell of who I think I am. But to everyone else, I'm the man. I'm good. Everything is going well. You know how hard that is? To put your head on the pillow when everyone's telling you like, yo, you're doing your thing. You're so successful. I'm so proud of you. And you can't even look in the mirror and be like, I'm proud of you.
Yep. Anything about even just like people that are like celebrity based, right? And not to give him any light in a good way, but like somebody like Diddy, right? Diddy is evil, but Diddy, you know how many times he had to look himself in the mirror? Well, everybody thought Diddy was just us. Not saying people that have been in the house with him, but people that have said Diddy's the man. Diddy made all these hits. Diddy did this. Diddy did that. Yep. And all the other celebrities we all glorify. You know, there's a bunch of them that go home at night and look in the mirror and just disgusted. Like, maybe they're not disgusted yet, but they're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just such a big thing. Before we get out of here, Zach, first of all, you know, I always want to give you flowers and love. Let people know about the Patreon because I seen that just drop. So let people know about the Patreon and how they could get. Because I was looking through it and I really want you to explain it because I have questions as well.
Yeah. So the Patreon is it's weird when you're in the position we're in. We're very guest driven. So our success is based off of the guests that we bring in. Mm-hmm. But we built the platform off of people who loved us because we couldn't get guests in the beginning. So our loyal listeners are missing out on a lot of us because we just have to be the journalists. We just have to ask questions. Yeah. They don't really get much of us. And I get it. If they don't give a fuck about them, they don't give a fuck about them. And that's totally okay. So, I mean, as a creator, bro, you got to do what you got to do. So, the Patreon is an opportunity for like people to hear us. You know, if you really want to listen to us, I mean, bro, we're charging $9 a month.
It's beautiful.
Everyone pays $9 a month for shit that they haven't even watched in 6 months.
Yep.
But if our podcast truly impacts your life and makes a positive impact on your life, I think $9 a month is worth it. And fuck the money. I'm just saying, like, we have to survive too. If you want to continue to hear us, this is the only way that's going to keep us alive. So, the Patreon is going to be a platform where it's not only exclusive podcasts. So there's going to be podcasts that drop on there that nobody else will hear. It'll never drop on YouTube. It'll never drop on Spotify, Apple, anywhere. Maybe a few clips will drop if there's a banger, but like nothing crazy. If you want to hear the full thing, which most of our loyal listeners do, that's where they go. So that'll drop. We're going to be doing a self-improvement series where we're talking about how I got over heartbreak, how Jake got over heartbreak, how John got over heartbreak. We're going to be talking about anxiety, OCD, depression, fucking dealing with mental health issues, right? Making 10-minute segments, not a fucking full podcast. You watch an 8-minute video. This is how I got over it. If you could take a 30-second segment out of this that applies to your life, that helps you get through it, we won.
Yep.
Right? So that's it. You can call in on live Patreon episodes and talk. I'll hold the phone right here. What's your name, brother? Or what's your name? I'm not going to say sister. I'm white.
What's your name, sis?
You know, like sis. Yeah, I guess sis is better. But like, yeah, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they can ask their question or tell their testimony. Live on an episode, me, Jake, John, me, Jake, John, Jake, me, John, whoever will fucking respond to it.
Yep.
That's another option. Merchandise, we're dropping soon. Shout out to John. He's going to help us with that. Launching the website very soon. If you're a Patreon member, you're going to get 15% off every single piece of merchandise you buy. Every single piece. And you're going to get early access because we're going to have a limited supply. So if you're a Patreon member, you get fucking early access. If the drop drops at fucking 3 p.m., you're going to have access at 12 p.m., right? And then the last thing is a live Zoom call once a month. Me, Jake, John, whoever is going to jump on a live Zoom call, and you can talk to us face-to-face, one-on-one for an hour. And you can ask us questions. You could tell us your story. You could ask for advice. You could just have someone to talk to. Or you could, whatever you want, for an hour. You have our time. And we're going to talk to you face-to-face for an hour. We're going to really get to know the people that support us. So we thought it was time to launch this, bro, just because, like, this shit is hard, obviously, and we're trying to monetize this shit, but we know that we can provide value to people outside of just the pod. Like, if you really want exclusive access, bro, I'm signed up to Patreons and exclusive memberships to people I really fuck with because I receive a product that I genuinely like and it helps my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
I pay for that.
Yep.
Just like I pay for Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and Amazon and HBO, and I like to watch shows, there's also people that I subscribe to. And they've earned my right to subscribe to them because they provided value in my life. So if I've been of anyone to provide value to your life, or John or Jake, then this is your opportunity to do that. And I'm excited for it because
I'm excited for that. That's dope.
we just got, bro, we dropped it like over a week ago. I mean, we have 2 subscribers
That's what's up.
at $8.99 a month. There's 2 people
that's
that
what's
paid.
up.
And to me, that's fucking crazy that 2 people would pay $8.99 a month
Yeah.
to listen to us stupid motherfucker jerk off speak.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's
just like, to me, like, bro, that was the KPI. It was like, if I can get 2, and I'm not money hungry, but bro, we're all in this shit. We want to make a good living. If I can make 2 people pay $8.99, I can make 5,000 people pay $8.99.
Absolutely.
There's 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah. That's a great way of looking at it. And at the end of the day, y'all will. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep speaking it. Keep speaking it. Keep praying on it. Y'all will. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope idea. It's a dope thing that y'all going to be doing. And the fact of is, even if you got 1 subscriber, you're changing that one person's life.
Yes.
You, out of, like you said, the 8 billion people, y'all words, y'all voices are changing that person's life.
And mind you, before, real quick, the 2 people that subscribed, I sent them a personalized message.
And that's beautiful. It's going to get to a point where you have to really, shit, when you got 5,000, you going, you know what I'm saying? But that's just dope, bro.
But I'm just saying, like, that the first guy that subscribed, I said, I'll never forget that you were the first person that subscribe to the Patreon. I mean, bro, when I get in the position, that's a guy I'm gonna fly out.
I was gonna say first, like,
I'm gonna fly him out wherever we're at,
and have him on.
and he's gonna come on the podcast.
dope.
And he'll have a conversation with us. He'll get his clips.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that because I have his email. I have his fucking full name.
that's awesome, bro.
It was cool to see that, and I saw that last night at 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, I checked my email, and it said so and so is a paid member of your Patreon. I mean, I've watched all these pods I watch all have a Patreon, and I watched the members they have and how much money they make, and it was cool to see the first one because I know where it's going, but it was very cool to see the first
What
one.
I'm saying is those things that they you never forget them, even if it's just compliments. You never forget them. You know what I'm saying? People that see your work because you know how much work you put into it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's a blessing, and that's the perfect way to end 2024.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Leading into that note, I do want to say for everybody out there, it is holiday season. By the time this episode drops, it'll be a little bit past holiday season, but it is holiday season. A lot of people do go through seasonal depression. There is people that have deep sadness during this time, whether they lost loved ones or not with certain loved ones anymore. Real old thinking about you. Continue to feel love. And anything that we could do to spread the love to you, we would love to. Just know that there is plenty of people out there that are in your same shoes, whether you're going through it alone or you're going through it with a group of people. Continue to stay positive. Continue to look towards God. Continue to love one another, whether it be your family or somebody even at work or somebody at school or whatever it be. Continue to hold your head up high. We wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. With all the love from Culture Shock, from the journey, we truly pray for 2025 for you to be the most abundant year that you could have and the most blessings you could have. So with that being said, Zach, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Another great episode. This is the Culture Shock. We out of here.